It was early morning, the kind where mist still hangs over the rooftops and the streets are perfectly silent. A strange, unsettling feeling crept through our little house. My mother and I ran a small corner store, a place filled with familiar sounds and smells. But that morning, everything felt different. That's when we saw her. Mimi. She hadn't knocked. The door hadn't opened. Yet there she was, sitting calmly on our sofa, her eyes fixed on us. I glanced at the clock. It read 5 a.m., a full 3 hours before her usual arrival time. Seeing her there, inside a house that was securely locked, felt impossible. We were stunned into silence. Mimi was more than just an employee at our store. She was kind, always cheerful, and so reliable that she felt like part of our family. My mother absolutely treasured her, and I looked up to her like an older sister. She was a constant presence in our lives. We'd often share lunch, and sometimes, if we closed up late, she'd stay for dinner too. But this morning was different. She didn't eat, she didn't drink, she just sat there, watching us with a quiet intensity. My mum, trying to break the strange tension, offered her a cup of coffee. "Mimi, have some," she said, her voice a little shaky. Mimi just shook her head, her eyes heavy with a sorrow I'd never seen before. "I'm leaving," she said softly. "You won't see me again." The words hung in the air, cold and final. We were frozen. I finally managed to find my voice. "Where are you going? Did you find another job?" A faint, sad smile touched her lips. "Far away," she whispered. "I don't know where. But I will always protect you." She stood up and walked over to me. She wrapped her arms around me in a hug. Her body felt unnaturally cold, a stark contrast to the gentle warmth that bloomed at the base of my neck where her hand rested. It was a fleeting, comforting heat. Then she moved to my mother, embracing her just as tightly. She gave us one last, kind smile, and then she was gone. She simply vanished. There was no noise, no door opening, not a single trace left behind. The air where she had stood was empty. My mum, finally breaking free from her shock, ran to check the locks on the doors and windows. Everything was intact, exactly as we'd left it the night before. The house was deathly silent, the silence amplifying the shock that was coursing through us. Before we could even begin to process what had just happened, the phone rang, its shrill sound slicing through the quiet. My mum answered it. The voice on the other end was trembling, choked with tears. Mimi is gone," the caller stammered. "She was killed by her stepfather last night." We were stunned. The world tilted on its axis. Just moments ago, we had spoken to her. I had felt the warmth of her embrace. And now, we were being told she had died hours before. The pieces didn't fit. They couldn't. In the days that followed, life at the store had to go on. At every dawn, as the first light filtered through the windows, my mother and I would sense her. We'd hear faint footsteps on the floorboards, the soft clatter of jars being rearranged on the shelves, and sometimes we'd catch the lingering scent of her cheap but familiar perfume. We were never afraid. We knew it was her, keeping her promise. She was protecting us, just from another world. Sometimes, even now, when I look at the old sofa where she sat that morning, I can almost see her, a faint, shimmering silhouette, smiling gently, her eyes glimmering in the early morning light. Some goodbyes don't come from this world, but that doesn't make them any less real. They are felt all the same. Thanks for listening. If this story touched you, please give it a like and subscribe for more.